Welcome to my class. In the previous classes, we discussed the meaning, differences and the 8 stages of growth and development. In today's class, we will be discussing few more characteristics which is being developed in growth stage by stage. That is stage by stage. In that, the first what we are going to see, that is infant stage. The age is from 0 to 2 years. That is from 0 to 2 years. When I say 0 to 2 years, this is after the birth. So because before this infant stage, we have one more stage which is called the prenatal stage. Prenatal stage is nothing but the child is in mother's womb. So now, what are the characteristics where a human or a living being is going to develop in this stage, that is infant stage? In all the stages, we are going to see 3 developments. The first one is the physical development, the second one is the cognitive development, and the third one is social and emotional development. These are the 3 different developments which we are going to discuss today in this class in each and every stage. Yes, we will move on to the first stage, that is the infant stage, that is between 0 to 2 years. What is the physical development in this stage? Infant weight increases rapidly. So you know, when the child is born, in an average there will be 2 to 2.5 kgs or 3 kgs. That is an average. But when there is a growth, there will be increase in the weight also. That's what the first point clearly indicates. The infant weight increases rapidly. The second is, by the end of this period, they are able to walk, can walk backward, can walk up steps without support. So they create an ability to just move from one place to another by walking, even in the stairs, in the planes, by using their legs. Then the last physical development of this stage is that the child's ability to speak the language begins to flourish. So when I say it is flourishing, the child begins to pronounce, try to talk. The sounds come from the mouth of that child. So these are the 3 physical development which happens in this stage, that is 0 to 2 years infant stage. What is this cognitive development in this stage? They can focus and follow moving object with their eyes. When a child is brought outside, when he or she, the child, see the birds flying, they can follow the movement. If an aeroplane flew or fly over the head, automatically they can visualize, they can see the moving object. Next come, they explore things with their mouth. When I say they explore things through their mouth, they started talking the different words, sound, noise, everything. That is called the exploration. And in 12 to 18 months, infant can form imagination of object and action in their minds. So when I say now the only animal which has an imaginary power is the human. So here the baby starting, a skill is developing cognitive, that is a child can imagine. And by age 2, the infant becomes aware of his her sex as a boy or a girl. So up to 2 years, they will not be having any idea about the sex. That is called the gender, whether the boy or a girl, male or a female. But at the age of end, when they come to 2 years, at the end of the 2 years, they can identify and they will be knowing which gender they belong to. This is all about the cognitive development. And we move on to the last development of this stage, that is social and emotional development. Infant develops trust as their parents meet their needs and holding them when they cry. So the first trust, it will be always on the parents, because whenever they feel scary, when they feel whatever it is, they immediately hold the parents and they will start crying, because the trust is being built with the parents. That is social and emotional development. Then comes, they smile in the response to the pleasant sound or a full stomach. So when child is with full stomach, and if he or she feels a pleasant sound when a mother talks, when a grandparents talk, when a father talks, so automatically they feel happy and they are going to smile and they will respond. The last point in the social and emotional development is that they fear strangers, because the strangers are but outside the home members. So they will be responding to their parents, grandparents, all where they will be looking at. But when the stranger comes, they will get fear. They will get fear. One point here, again I would like to tell, the thing is that here they will be very close to the parents, but when the stranger comes, they will be getting fear. These are the three developments in the first stage, infant stage, that is 0 to 2 years: physical, cognitive, social and emotional development, which a child go through the complete process. We will move on to the next stage, that is nothing but this childhood stage, that is 2 to 12 years. In the previous classes, we discussed that the childhood is being divided into two categories, and that is early childhood, later. So now we have come to one point, that is childhood, that is age 2 to 12. In this again we are going to see the three developments: physical, cognitive and social and emotional development. We will see what is the physical development in this stage. Girls and boys during this period have similar body shape and proportion until they reach puberty. So here there will not be much difference between the gender, that is the boys and the girls. There will be not much difference till they attain the maturity level, that is the puberty, the body shape. So when we say that when a boy is matured, automatically you will feel there will be a broad shoulder, but when a girl, automatically the pelvic region gets wider, the breast is being developed. This all the changes happens when they attain the puberty. So before that, they will be having the same shape, size, structure, and it will be similar for both boys and girls. The next one is that they lose digital teeth. It is nothing but the milk teeth. In this stage, they are going to lose the milk teeth. Then comes skeletal bones and muscles broaden and lengthen. So here in this stage, it becomes strengthened. So we say that bone plays a very important role for the movement and all to perform an activity. So in this stage, automatically it becomes the lengthened and it becomes broader. And once it becomes the broader, automatically it is going to become stronger. These are the three physical developments in the childhood stage, that is from age 2 to 12 years. Then comes the cognitive development. What is the first point of the cognitive development? They acquire the ability to think logically. When I say think logically, there are a lot of logic things. As such, now in the present scenario, we have forgotten. We say that when you get up in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, you have to turn to your right side and get up. Because why we do so? It is nothing but the heart should not get the pressure of the complete blood. So we say that turn towards the right and you have to get up, because the heart will be in not much intensity in working, because the pumping of the blood will be less when you are taking the rest. So that is the logic. So now in this stage, a child or an individual will start thinking logically. That is called the cognitive development and most important ability of a child in this stage. Next comes language expands with basic literacy skills. When I say literacy skills, you may think about the sound, the fluency, the use of the alphabets, the comprehension. All these skills expands, because in the early stages the child gets flourished, tries to talk, make the sound. But here it comes to a literacy skills. It is all about the comprehensive, influence, sound. All this comes in this stage. Then comes, they acquire ability to engage in increasingly difficult cognitive tasks, such as performing a series of tasks in a reasonable order. That is why in this stage we are going to give some building blocks to the child, where they can build. So when I say orderly manner, it's not that they are going to make the base big. When it comes to the tower, it is going to become small. This is the way orderly they will be performing the task. These are all the cognitive development in the second stage, that is the childhood stage, that is from 2 to 12 years. We will move on to the next, that is social and emotional development. In this stage, they begin to make comparison with other children. So when you send your child to the school, they started doing the comparison with the other child, saying that this child is hating or doing well or playing is not giving. So they started comparing. So this develops here in this stage. They understand these similarities and difference between self with others. They even also easy to compare and say that I am similar to you. That is why in that age they make friends. They make friends by understanding the similarity, likes, dislikes, etc. So this happens in the childhood stage. Start developing, it is the bud stage. And then when the younger children are strongly attached to their parents. As we have seen in the early stages also, they are very much attached to the parents, but they get fear for the stranger. Same thing here, still they have the same attachment towards the parents. This is the social and emotional development on this stage, that is nothing but the childhood stage. Next we go on to the third stage, that is adolescent stage. It is 12 to 19 years. 12 to 19 years. Again in this stage we are going to see three developments. One is physical, cognitive, social and emotional. In this physical development, hormonal changes takes place. So hormonal changes, when I say the physical alternation in the body, that is rapid physical growth, sexual maturity. The average age range for reaching puberty, that is for the maturation is, in girls it is 9 to 14 years, they attain the maturity. For the boys it is 10 to 17 years. After this, there will be change in the growth in the physical for both the genders, that the boys and the girls. Till that it will be similar, which you have seen in already in previous stage, that is childhood stage. Then cognitive development, reasoning, planning and problem solving develop during this adolescence. So you have some problems, you will be able to solve by yourself. That is the main thing which happens in this stage. You will be planning. So planning in the sense, for small example, if you want to make a study timetable or whatever it is, you can make by your own. This is called reasoning, planning and problem solving. Cognitive development in this stage. Then comes the develop feeling of egocentrism. It is egocentrism is that they have their own perspective of the other individual. They cannot take the other individual, that is the opposite individual, in their own way, because they have their own perspective. So we call it as an egocentrism. This is called an egocentrism. Then comes they are highly self-conscious. So when I say the consciousness, because when we pull them into the stage, when a child is pulled, they'll be more conscious about their dress. They may think that what the other individual may think, what the other group may think. So in this stage, in cognitive, they will be more conscious. And the last stage of this adolescent stage is that social and emotional development. The emotional attachment towards the parents, towards peers increases, where the influence of parents diminishes. So here in the two previous stages, we saw that there is increase the attachment with the parents, but when it comes to the adolescence, automatically it is going to reduce towards the parents, and there will be increase in the attachment with the peer groups. And boys tends to value principles of justice and rights. So these are the difference with boys and girls here in social. We as being a boy, the boys will be towards the rights of justice, and the girls will be for caring, for helping others. So the values completely change. Girls value for caring and helping, boys will be towards the principles and the justice and the rights. These are the three different development of adolescence, that is physical, cognitive and the social and emotional. And the last comes, we are going to see now the next stage. The next stage is adulthood. The adulthood is age from 90 to 65 years and above. Because after 65, we call it as a old age. So old age, you are not going to see any other development, because they may get the experience. There may be only a cognitive development. But when we get into the old age, the physical, decreasing in the old age. So we see this is the last stage where the three developments, that is physical, cognitive and the social emotional development. What is the physical development in the adulthood? That is from age 19 to 65 years. Visual activity diminishes, so vision gets dull. You will not be able to see, read more because you will be facing long sight, short sight, all these problems. So the visual activities diminishes, it reduces. Then comes hearing loss because of the damage of the hair cells, cilia of inner ear. Why? When you get older, even your hearing problem will increase. You loss of sound. So we call it as why it is happening, because of damage to the hair cell. Hearing loss, we call it as hearing loss. This all happens in the adulthood age. Physical development, so it all declines. If you see, understand, it all declines. Then comes, many suffer from ailments such as high cholesterol and high blood pressure as well as bone density. That is why I always, in all the other classes, I used to instruct that you have to go for a physical activity. Because of this high cholesterol, the high blood pressure, because lack of activity, what happens? The alignments, complete posture, you are going to damage, and you cannot perform activity in an easy way. So this is all about the physical development in the adult age. Then we will move on to the cognitive changes. What are the cognitive changes happen here? The intensive information processing begin to decline in early adulthood by accumulated knowledge and experiences strength. See, when I said that early adulthood, in the early adulthood there is a decline. The information processing gets declined, but it becomes strengthened when it is being accumulated knowledge and experience gets strengthened in the later adulthood. So again it is being divided very clearly. In the early it is decline, and in the later, due to the experience, you will be more strengthened and be stronger. That is called the cognitive. Next up, middle-aged adults are good at making sensible decisions, no matters relating to the emotion, social issues and the personal problems. Nowadays, the people or the younger, the childhood adult, what happens? They could not take the failure in the same way as success. So, but when you reach to this age, what happens? You will make a sensible decision on relating emotion, social issues and personal problems. You will be able to solve your own. You can handle your emotional things. Whatever it may be a loss of a person, you may be not successful in your career, whatever it is. At that time, you will be make a sensible decision. In which age it is? It is in adulthood between 19 to 65 years. Then comes the older adult feels difficulty in doing tasks that requires them to divide their attention between the activity. When we get older and older, we will be decline in doing the multitask. It will be very difficult when we get older and older. In the adult and adulthood, it's easy to make the multitask. But when we get older and older, it becomes difficult. That is what the cognitive changes which is going to happen in the adulthood. So that's why very clearly we mentioned it is a cognitive change, not the development. Next comes the social and the emotional development of this last stage. So they complete education and begin full-time work. So in this stage, most of them complete their education and they will get into a new world, that is the full-time work, a full-time job. And next, major concerns about developing careers, marriage and having children. So here they will be thinking about their promotions, how to go up in their life to achieve their goals, and they will be searching for marriage and they will get married and they will be ready for a children, waiting for a children to see that and their generation. Then comes the last point, that is most people become grandparents. They develop an interest in guiding the development of next generation. This is where we stand and we advise, we counsel, we give instructions for the next generation benefits. Most of the individuals become grandparents in this stage, that is 19 to 65 years, where we are going to attain this, that is the grandparent, and we are going to guide the next generation. So this is all about, we have seen the characteristics, development and the changes in each stages. In each stages again we have divided it into what are the development, that is physical, cognitive, social. So in today's class we have seen what are the three developments in each stage, that is the infant stage, next comes the childhood stage, then comes the adolescent stage, then comes the adulthood stage. So these are the four stages, and what are the development, cognitive changes, social and emotional changes we discussed today. And in the next class, going further, we will be discussing about the factors that is going to influence growth and development. The factors which is going to influence growth and development. That is the heredity, the environment, the nationality and the nutrition. These are the four things which is going to influence each and every individual in their growth and development, which we will be discussing in the next class. We will meet you in the next class. Thank you so much.